Okay, guys. So 8 o'clock, time for us to get started. So first and foremost, welcome to the call. My name's Roger Garth, and it's my pleasure to be your host for the call right now. Mr. Brooks is still on the phone. See, you just can't get him off it. Okay, so excuse me. Oh, are you joining us? Let's unmute you.
I'm here.
All
I'm
right,
here.
good.
Sorry, I was just on the phone with Brandon. I
All
got
right.
some very exciting news to tell people.
Yeah. Well, we all heard you were on the phone to Brandon.
Yeah, but I'm going to save it till the end. If anybody goes and leaves, bye-bye, you are going to miss it.
Okay.
So if you got any of your team, get your team on. Get your team. Let's max this call out.
Okay. So, couple of things. First of all, if you're on this call for the first time, if you've never looked at our business before, then welcome to you. This is not going to be our typical opportunity call. We're not going to be showing the sorts of stuff that we do on a normal basis. This is just talking about products tonight, and it's talking purely about how you can make money trading. Okay. So we want to go through a couple of developments that have occurred over recent weeks, and I want to bring some clarity to what we've been posting, because last week we posted some information about a product that we haven't talked about so far in our time with IM, and that's the HFX Academy. HFX is High Frequency Forex, and it's something that I don't really know why we didn't touch on it in the first instance, but we didn't. We came from a background of trading Forex with another company. We understood Forex, and we kind of got stuck into it straight away. And we were mentored by Brandon, who Simon was just talking to. Brandon Boyd's our upline in America. He's been spectacularly supportive. And in all my career in network marketing, and I know Simon feels the same way as far as this is concerned. Simon's been in the industry a little bit longer than me. Simon's been in this industry for 32 years now. It's almost 30 years since I first came into network marketing. Brandon is the only person either of us can say that we've ever found a sponsor or an upline that's really supported us. But Brandon's done that immensely. And one of the things that I would say about Brandon is that I found him to be quite a formal guy in many ways. He's certainly not as irreverent as Simon and myself. He doesn't laugh and joke. He certainly doesn't swear as much as we do. He's quite serious, but he's scrupulously honest. And he's so honest that I would take anything that Brandon tells me just on face value, although we do have a tendency to check things out anyway. But he's the only person that I've ever come across that I would take things on face value. So what we're going to talk about right now, we're going to talk about the HFX Academy. And the reason it sort of came to light, a few weeks ago, we went to London, just before the lockdown occurred. We went to London for the international conference. When we went to the conference in London, we had one of our other upline, Joe Gomez, sat with us, and Joe said to me, I'm absolutely crushing it using HFX, trading binary options. And I really didn't pay an awful lot of attention to what he said. I had some preconceptions about binary options, and that's quite wrong of me, really. I shouldn't do that, but I did. And you're going to understand some of it shortly. But I turned around and just said, nice, we can't do that over here, Joe, anyway. But we're doing well with Forex, and the team's growing, and that's really what we count on, and we're just looking at that. Until a couple of weeks ago, Joe mentioned it again, and again I kind of put him off until Brandon mentioned it. And when Brandon mentioned it, and Brandon said that he's now been trading Forex for 6 weeks, trading binaries for 6 weeks and not doing any more Forex, that made me sort of think, well, hang on a minute, maybe we should be looking at something. So he shared some figures last week, and the figures that he shared, I think this was on Wednesday, he shared them, and he said in the last 6 weeks of testing this, they placed 139 trades. But we ain't seen 139 trades, let alone placed 139 trades in the last 6 weeks. Of those trades, they lost 13 trades and they won 126. But the amount of money that he's won as well is staggering. Now, we all know that Brandon trades with a much, much bigger trading pot than any of us. In fact, possibly than all of us put together, to be fair. He trades with a chunk of money. But when he sent a video out last week and said, wow, can't believe this. Fantastic night. 5 trades tonight, 5 wins. Thank you, Matty. Another $100,000 night. And Simon sent me a message and said, have you just seen what Brandon has just put? Another, not $100,000 night, another $100,000 night. Okay, right, we've got to look at it now, haven't we? We've got to pay attention. If Brandon Boyd is putting his weight behind it, I have faith in Brandon Boyd. So I'm going to go back to my slides because I've got some stuff that I want to show you, and I want to show you why we were wary in the first instance, and then why we were wrong to be wary. So let's just clear that. Come on, move on. So binary options. So first of all, we want to talk about what binary options is. But the other question, and the thing that put me off, is a question that I saw posted on one of Brandon's posts earlier on today. And that is there a legal question regarding binaries? And there was a legal question, and we need to clear it up. So let's talk about ESMA. ESMA is the European Securities and Markets Authority. It's the European equivalent of the American Federal Reserve, and they monitor what happens when it comes to trading or anything like trading. So the ESMA actually placed a temporary ban on the 22nd of March 2018. They placed a temporary ban on the marketing of binary options. Binary options were never actually banned in the EU. Now, I was under the impression that they had been banned because we'd been told with our previous company that binary options had been banned. And again, wrongly of us, we just took it on face value. Right? Okay, we can't do that. We weren't terribly bothered about it with our last company because we didn't want to trade binary options anyway. So it didn't really concern us a great deal and we didn't check into it. But once this came up and I was told that there was a ban on it, you have to check it. So when I checked into it, this is what I found. As of the 1st of July 2019, ESMA actually said they will not renew the temporary prohibition. So now there's no ban on marketing binary options either. So not only are binary options perfectly legal to trade, but they're also perfectly legal for Forex companies, Forex brokers to go out and market. Now, for the sake of clarification, if anyone wants to check that out, there's a link there, and I'm going to post this statement and the link in the Telegram group after that. So if anyone wants to go and check that for themselves, that's the official European government website where it says that that's perfectly okay. Now, that was the main thing that I was concerned with when I'd said to Joe, we can't do binaries and, we don't want to do that. But, there's a legal issue. We don't want to do it. And we were never going to do anything that we had any questions over legality. But with no questions over legalities, we then had to look at what binaries is and what it does for us. So first of all, we can now legally trade binary options. In fact, we could always legally trade binary options. So how does binary options trade compare to trading normal Forex? Because with binary options, we are still trading Forex. You can also still trade metals. You can trade indices. You can trade cryptos. You can trade anything that you can trade on MT4 with a Forex broker. You can trade on binary options, but it's a lot simpler. Instead of having to go through all of the stuff that we have to go through placing trades with Forex, let's list some of the benefits for you when it comes to binaries. So first and foremost, the first thing we have to think about, as I said, this is simple and it doesn't get simpler than this. First of all, no apps to download over and above just having your I Am Academy app because you want access to Pip Talk, so you know when there are signals through, and Telegram just for communication. You don't necessarily need NT4. It is possible, I believe, to trade binaries on NT4 on your laptop, but you don't need to because you do it with a broker, and the broker interface is much simpler than the MT4 one. So no apps. You don't need to figure out how to put in a take profit or a stop loss. Now, the one problem that we've had from people who've been trying to trade DeLorean and trade DeLorean on their own is I have tons and tons of people coming back to me saying, I like all the figures that we see in shadow in the trade alerts. I like going on the lives because Tyrone gives us all the figures on lives and Patrick gives us all the figures on lives. But if I've got to go into DeLorean myself, how do I work out how to put the stop loss in? How do I work out how to put the take profit in? Well, with binaries, you don't have to, so we take that away from you. Equally, you don't need to calculate pips or lot sizes. Again, when I have new people come into our business, one of the first questions is, what's a pip? And how do I work out my lot size? Now, we have a cheat sheet that simplified lot sizes for you, but it's not 100% accurate. When you hear Tyrone say, risk no more than 2% on a trade, my cheat sheet is 2%-ish, but it will vary from currency to currency. On one pair, it could be at 1.7%, and another one, it could be 2.4%. It's not exact. However, with binaries, you don't have to do that because what you trade is money. You actually put in the amount of money that you want to put on a trade. So if you've got a £500 account and you want to trade 2%, then you trade £10. And that's how much you've got on that trade. So nice and simple and straightforward. Equally, you don't have to modify a trade. There's no turning around and saying to you that you're going to go back into this, raise your stop loss, alter the numbers, change them around, do anything else. You don't have to do it. You don't have to know how to modify it. Most people don't know how to modify them when they first come in, and it gets very confusing for people. This is very, very simple. You're actually trading based on time frames. These are fixed time trades. And you can fix the time anywhere from 30 seconds to a month for a trade. I can't imagine any good reason why you wouldn't do a trade for a month, but you could do it if that's what you wanted to do. So the trader that we're going to talk about shortly, Matty, seems to like 3-minute trades. So you just go into a trade for 3 minutes. Well, you don't have time to modify a trade in 3 minutes anyway, because the whole thing is over and done with, win or lose. Because this is a 3-minute trade, there's no taking partial profits. Tyrone's a great fan of partial profits. He even sings about it when he's on a live session. You don't have to worry about how you take partial profits. Again, we have lots of people saying, I don't understand how you do it. I didn't know you could do it. How do I do this? Don't have to worry about it. Don't have to wonder how much you're going to make per trade, because it actually tells you on the screen before you take the trade how much the payout is on the trade that you're going to take. And I'm going to show you that in a few minutes so you'll actually understand it very clearly. You don't have to worry about how much you could lose a trade because you'd actually set the figure. You'd turn around and said 2%. So in this case, I'd put £10 on the trade. Nice and simple. If it goes wrong, I could lose £10. And the worst that can happen is I lose £10. This one can't go wrong and go down and down and down and down and down, where you lose £50, £100, £200, £500, £1,000. That can't happen with this. And you don't have to worry about pending orders. You don't have to, when someone turns around and says, put a buy limit on, you don't have to say, what is a buy limit? How do I put a buy limit on? When's this buy limit ever going to actually hit and take place? None of that. Everything is very simple and straightforward. Now, there's a few more benefits, a few things that I liked about it. First thing is peace of mind. You don't have to hold on to a trade at all. We've done it in the past where we've placed trades and we've had to go into them. The trades got to the end of the day and it's run on overnight. And I don't think there's anyone who's been with us for any period of time that hasn't had sleepless nights worrying about trades when the markets have gone bad, particularly when coronavirus first hit, because coronavirus hit us all badly and a lot of people lost a chunk of money. I lost a chunk of money, Simon lost a chunk of money, and a lot of other people did. That can't happen with this. So no sleepless nights because of it. No swap charges. Again, when we had to hold on to trades, every time you hold on to a trade overnight, a broker charges you what they call is a swap fee. So they charge you a fixed amount of money for extending the trade for another day. And eventually, if you're holding on to it for days and weeks, it can add up and you pay that charge, win or lose. If you lose the trade, the loss is whatever you see on the screen plus your swap charge. If you win it, even if you just break even, you hold the trade until you break even, you still have to pay your swap charges. With binaries, no swap charges. You'll never get an email saying you've got a margin call, you need to add some more funds to your account, otherwise your trades will be closed on you. Can't happen. You're in this trade for 3 minutes. You know exactly where you're up to. When you get, when you're getting into it, when you're getting out of it, you know how much you could lose. This is nice and simple. At Easter, we had Tyrone talking about crazy spreads, and we actually saw lots of trades where the brokers had decided the difference between, if you look on NT4, and I'll probably show you, it's easier for me to show it. If you look on NT4 and you look at currency pairs, you will see two sets of numbers. There is price that the broker buys at and the price that the broker sells at. And the difference is the spread. It's the same when you go to Thomas Cook or whoever it may be to get your holiday money. When you go away, you'll actually see the sign that says we buy at this price, we sell at that price. The difference is called the spread, and that's the broker's commission. However, there are days when brokers put their spreads up to such a high degree that the second we take a trade on Forex, we go into the red straight away. Again, can't happen with this. And you don't have to constantly keep looking at your phone to see if you're in profit or not, because you were watching the trade when you placed it. You're only in it for 3 minutes. Once you've closed your account down, you know where you're up to. You know exactly where you stand. You always know exactly how much profit you made. It's really, really simple. And that's another huge, huge benefit as far as I'm concerned. So what I want to do is I'm going to stop sharing this and I'm going to go straight to a website where you can see a demo account. So let's just call that. So this demo website, you can go into and you can check it right now yourself. If you want to make a note, this is called pocketoption.com. You see it here in the top corner, pocketoption.com. And there is a live demo that you can try on straight away, and you can actually try this system for yourself and see how it works. Now I'm going to show you how easy it is to place a trade using binary options. And I'm not going to do a massive amount of research on this. So we're just going to pick a trade up. Because this is a demo account, you can see here, it says demo there, and it's giving me a demo account with $10,000 in it. And you can see they've actually played a couple just to sort of set some examples for people and show them how it works. So it's currently $897 in profit. So let's take a look at a pair. So you find your pairs by clicking this here, and you get a list of currencies, and you can see that we have Forex currencies, we have cryptocurrencies, we have commodities, and we have stocks. So stocks and shares, whatever you want to do. As far as we're concerned, we're sticking to currencies. Now, if you look at the side, of each one, there is a percentage. Now, this is the payout percentage. This is how much money they will pay out if you take that particular trade at that particular moment. And it's a percentage of the amount of money that you put on the trade yourself. Okay? So, if you look at them, some of them are really good percentages. The USD to the ruble, 92%. GBP JPY, 81%. GBP CAD, 10%. As far as that one's concerned, if you put £10 on a trade and the trade wins, you win £10 back plus £1. I wouldn't entertain it for that. I wouldn't look at that. So you're going to look at these percentages because these change depending on the time of day. So you're going to look at the percentages and see which trades you're going at. Now, when we actually have Matty, our trader, going into the trades live, he's going to give you some examples. You're going to take a look at them and he'll know which profits he's going for. Typically, you want to be looking for something that is above 80%. And, excuse me, earlier on in the day, you'll find huge numbers that are above 80%. Right now, different markets are closed. The London market's closed. The New York market's closed. So now we're just into Asian markets and Australian markets, and that's why the percentages are low. So I'm going to just pick this one for the minute, GBP JPY. We're just going to say, if I win this trade I will win 81%. So let's just close that for a second. So I'm going to look at it. Now, I'm not going to do, actually, I'll do a tiny peek. I'm going to have a look on my phone and I'm going to look at NT4 for a chart. You won't be doing this when you place the trade. The traders will actually have the charts for you, or within HFX, you'll actually have something that looks very similar to DeLorean, and that's what's going to tell you to take the trades. But this is an example, so I just want to get a quick idea of where this is going. So let's just have a quick peek. GBP JPY. Have a quick peek at the chart. I'm going to look at 5 minutes. Okay, right. Chart overall right now, this is, you can see the candles here right now. It's generally coming down. So I'm going to say for the minute, let's just assume that this trade is going down. So down here, you place the amount of money that you can put on a trade and you just type a number in. So if you want to put in $10, you can put $10 in it. Listening to Matty, the trader, he advocates in most instances between 1% and 2% of your pot. So if you're trading with a £500 pot, 1% is £5, 2% is £10. Up to you, you choose. Here I've got an imaginary £11,000. Let's put $100 on the trade and let's see what that does. So candle shifted. We've just moved into another candle right now. And there is 39 seconds before this trade expires. So I'm not going to go into this trade until it expires. It has a little ticker here that looks. Now the trade that I'm going to do here lasts for just 1 minute. So if we look here, you can change these for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. In fact, I'm not going to leave it for that because I don't want to stay in that long. So I'm going to stick at just this 1 minute. So 1 minute, I've got 41 seconds now for the purchase time. And that's gone back down. I'm still going to say that that's going to stay going down. So I'm going to put low. And that trade is now placed up here. So I've got 53 seconds before this trade wins. Now, I've placed $100 on it. And this trade is paying out 81%. So if this trade wins, then I'm going to get back my $100 that I've put on. You can see my balance has dropped from 10,897 to 10,797. I'll win back my £100 plus an additional £81, 81%. And just as I've talked through it and gone through this quick explanation, the trade is almost over. The trade is just 17 seconds left to run. This is just as simple as this. Pick your currency, put the amount of money that you want to put in it, make sure the time frame is there, and click buy or sell. There are different explanations from different places. Some will say that it's a buy, some will say that it's a sell. That trade right at the last minute, we can see, let's drag that out of the way, it came back, it bounced back a little bit and went into profit in that one candle. Because it went back into profit, I lost that trade, so I lost $100. But it's not a tragedy for me because I was only trading less than 1% of my pot there. I can move on and I can go back to other systems. This is something you can test for yourself, and it's really simple. Now, it highlights a danger with binary options. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second, just so that I can see you guys and go through what I see as a potential risk with it. And this is the warning that we have to do. Trading binary options is really, really easy. And because it's really easy, people will be tempted to do crazy things. First and foremost, when you make 2 or 3 or 4 quick wins, it will be really tempting to think, God, I wish I put more on that trade. I got a message just before I started this call from one of my team who wanted to be on and wanted to watch this. And he said, I can't make it, but I'm going to read the message. The message came through on Telegram, and he said, I've been called out, so I'm going to miss the call, but I can 100% vouch for the system. Being on it today, and had a play, watched loads of Matty's Pips videos, and I played 8 live trades following Hourglass, and I won 7 of them. So won 7 out of 8 trades, and that's someone who's never used the system before. He's only been on it today. The danger is thinking this is easy money. Instead of just placing 1%, I'll place 10% or doing something crazy. You need to stick to really solid risk management. Remember, we're doing this as a business. This isn't a game. We're not gambling. This is not going to a casino, just picking red or black or anything else like that. When we trade with the traders, we're trading with an expert who knows what he's doing and teaches us exactly how to look at these pairs, and he's looking for confirmations of why he should be in a trade before he takes it. The software that we're going to give you access to is called Hourglass, and Hourglass does the calculations for you. It looks for the confirmations for you, and you will see on screen, much like DeLorean, you will see 2 or 3 different things that you have to check for, and providing the conditions are met, you can say, okay, it meets that condition, that condition, that condition, we should be good. Now, Hourglass will give you between 3 and 5 confirmations. Matty's explanation says if you've got 3 confirmations, that's a good trade to go for. If you've got 4 confirmations, that's an excellent trade to go for. And if you've got 5, it's as close as you're going to get to being a dead cert, but still do not gamble with it. Treat it seriously and treat it like a business, because there is a potential to make a chunk of money with this, and it's going to be much, much easier to do than what we're doing with DeLorean, trying to learn something that you don't understand. This is something that you can get into from day one. You can go straight into the system. You can take a look at it and just say, okay, I understand that. All I've got to do is look at those confirmations, get those confirmations, and I press red or green and I'm away. That's going to be very simple and straightforward. So that said, I want to quickly go back to my slideshow again, and I want to go through how it's going to work out in terms of packages. Now, remember I said to you first and foremost that, pick the wrong screen, sorry about that. That's what I get for having 2 things identical on my computer at the same time. So let's take a quick look. So I want that. Okay. So I want to compare the packages and show how this is going to work out in terms of the packages that you're on right now. For the majority of us, if you're already a part of IM Academy, you are probably on this package. It's what we call the Platinum Pack. So it's straightforward Forex trading. Cost for getting started is $234.95 and $174.95 a month on subscription. Okay. If you're brand new and you're looking at this for the first time, you won't know, but everyone else does know, that if you find 2 friends who join the business, you don't have to pay that monthly subscription. And an awful lot of people on this call don't pay the monthly subscription. I've never paid it. If I can get something for nothing, I'll take that every day. We have another academy called the DCX Academy. Now that's for trading cryptocurrencies, and you can trade cryptocurrencies as binaries as well. Same cost to get started, $234.95 plus $175 a month. Or you have the HFX Academy. Now that's what we're just talking about. The HFX Academy, again, is exactly the same, $234.95 to get started plus $175 a month. There is an optional hourglass strategy. That's the software that's actually going to work this whole thing out for you. Costs $22, just the same as DeLorean does with the Forex pack. You pay that much on DeLorean plus you, on Forex, plus you pay $22 for DeLorean. This is exactly the same. However, there is another pack, and the other pack is this one. This is the Elite pack, and I've just upgraded to this, and so Simon and a number of other people on the call right now. And we've upgraded this to for a really good reason, because this gives you all 3 academies for just $100 more than the cost of any individual one of them. And it gives you access to a ton more trades. If I've heard one complaint from people in the space of the last couple of weeks, the last 5 weeks or so, since coronavirus and people have been locked down, is that we don't see enough trades that come through as full alerts in the platform that we call Shadow. The reason we haven't seen that many trades is because to actually put a trades into the Shadow system takes about 25 minutes. And right now, the markets are moving at a crazy speed. By the time the trades have actually gone into Shadow, the chances are they've probably already expired. So we're not sending it out because we don't need to get into something that's too late. This will give you an opportunity to get more trades that you can go into in a simpler, cleaner interface. Someone's just said to me, does the Elite package include Hourglass as well? Yes, it does. The Elite pack includes absolutely everything. So here's what Elite pack gives you. Elite pack gives you Forex, still gives you DeLorean, but you don't have to pay extra for DeLorean this time. It gives you the web analyzer, and you don't have to pay extra for it. It gives you levels. A couple of weeks ago, we had a system with who was on it, Simon? Baz, wasn't it? Who was on a couple of weeks ago with Tyrone. Baz has a system called pivots. You get pivots included. You get levels included. You get Gold Cup included in it. You get swipe trades included in it. You get swipe coin included in it. You get absolutely everything that IM Academy has to offer. Simon and I sat down last week and we went through the back office of the Academy, and we totaled up how much every single package would cost if you added them all together. And the total came up to, I'm not talking about buying individual academies, I'm talking about just buying the whole lots all together. It came to something like, was it 700, Simon?
Yeah, it was a fortune.
700 and something dollars, as opposed to just adding 19 quid a week extra to your subscription. For me, it's a no-brainer, because I only need one trade to make all of that money back in a month. Not one trade a week, not one trade a day. Some questions from Fleur. Can you roll a trade over with pocket options? No, I would not use pocket options as the trading, the people that I trade with. In fact, let me just have a quick look on my slide here. I just want to see something else. We've actually, Simon and I spent days going through brokers. In fact, Simon, I'll let you talk about brokers whilst I just sort this out.
Well, the other day, I wasted 3 days speaking to a company. I used to do binary options about 4 years ago, and I think I lost 20,000 doing binary options. That's because I was gambling. And I went back to my original company that I used, which was IQ Options. And I thought, let's see if they can set it up and everything else. And they turned, after 3 days, they then turned around and said, oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Brooks, we no longer do binary options. I'm thinking, man, thanks for letting us know, but then I didn't ask them. So then I spoke to Brandon and I spoke to Joe.
I've got the list. I'm going to share the list. As soon as you finish this, I'm going to share the list of who we've got.
Brandon, I was literally on the phone just as this Zoom was starting. And Brandon told me the company that he likes and he uses. And that's the same company that I've just set up.
So Simon and I went through, as I said, we spent days going through brokers looking for different ones. Brandon gave us 2 companies that he likes, but one specifically that has all the features that he wanted. And we wanted to see if there were any alternatives, see if we had any British alternatives, any European alternatives. And we did find some, but we found a ton that looked great on the surface, but just didn't offer enough pairs. Pocket options, the demo that I've just shown you, I've only showed you because it's a simple demo to use. Although it's a simple demo to use, they don't have enough pairs to trade with. They only offer a very cut down set of trades. And if you looked, when I pressed currencies, you could just see 30 currencies in there, that's all. And some of the trades that we know that are coming up and are going to be huge profit opportunities for us aren't available there. They don't do exotics. Now, here's one of the reasons why Simon and I think that the excuse me, the Elite Pack is a perfect combination, because it still gives us access. Someone calling me. They'll have to wait. So they actually, excuse me, they don't allow us to trade exotics. Now, if we keep the Elite Pack, we still get access to Tyrone and we get access to DeLorean. So we can still do the live trades. And this is something that I want everyone to understand. We are not suggesting that anyone changes from Forex or from DeLorean and goes just into HFX. We're suggesting this is an opportunity for you to have both and have more and better. Tyrone's been telling us for days that USD/TRY is going to come down, and it's going to come down big. And he's told us that you can feed your family for a year on the back of these 2 trades. Well, imagine this. Imagine Tyrone says, now is the time for you to go into USD/TRY and you place a sell on it. You place a sell and you wait for the take profit. And it takes 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours, 5 days to keep going down. Or you go into Hourglass and you place USD/TRY and you place a trade for 3 minutes and you go sell, profit, sell, profit, sell, profit, sell. How many times a day do you want to do that to get your 8%? Yeah, I can see your face. I can see what you're thinking. How many times a day do you want to do that to get the 8% that you actually have to get to get, as far as math is concerned, to compound and turn into a serious chunk of money? Matty showed us his results when he got started trading binaries 21 months ago, not 2 years, 21 months ago, he started trading binaries, and he started with $500. It took him 6 weeks to turn $500 into 2,000. And after 6 weeks and multiplying his money 4 times in 6 weeks, he thought, I need to do this more and better. So then he started to learn it, and he turned $2,000 into $23,000. When he turned $2,000 into $23,000, the company, and Chris Terry particularly, said, You got a feel for this. Would you like to teach people how to trade binaries using this software? And he said, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I'm good enough to do that. But he said he'd give it a shot. And the next 10 months, he turned $23,000 into $230,000. And the next 12 months after that, he turned it into $1.3 million from a $500 stake in 21 months. Now, I am not saying that you're going to make millions of dollars doing this. I don't know whether you've got the discipline to put the trading and to put the effort in that Matty puts into it. I don't know whether you've got the mental attitude to accept the losses when the losses come, because the losses will come. Make no ways about it. You will lose some trades as well as winning some. But how well you'll do with it is completely up to you. What I do know is combine the two together and use the education that we provide you in those back offices. There is a phenomenal amount of education in there. And we've now, in the last few weeks, because of the lockdown, a lot of people have started to get to grips with that education. And a lot of people on these screens that you can see in front of you right now are all starting to make good money trading. A lot of people may not actually need to go for another job when they come out of this. Some people are going to lose their jobs. There's no two ways about it. After coronavirus, they reckon unemployment is going to hit 20% in this country. They reckon that 1 in 4 small businesses will fail. Some people will need something else. You guys have access to it right now. You might not need another job. You might need another job. That's up to you, and I can't help that. I can't guarantee that. But we're giving you a tool that can do incredible things for you. What I want to do right now is I want to quickly look at some of the questions that have come up so I can answer the questions for you. So, I mean, Rick said he upgraded today. He said it's amazing. Daisy says, do you have to wait until your next billing cycle to upgrade? You do, Daisy. You can if you upgrade right now. And, excuse me, if you want to upgrade right now, you'll automatically be upgraded when your next billing cycle is through. If you can't wait to get hold of HFX, then you can just buy HFX on its own as an add-on to the Platinum pack, but it costs $50. Now, for me personally, I've upgraded. My subscription isn't due to upgrade until next Thursday. So I'm not going to get access to this until next Thursday. Damn. Simon's already upgraded. Simon's just can't wait for Wednesday morning, well, Thursday morning at 4 a.m. There's a downside. I knew there was a downside to tell you.
Yeah.
The trading times. Matty trades 2 sessions a week, and it's 4 o'clock in the morning. But I've got to be honest with you. In the 1 hour that he's on, Brandon Boyd made 25%. Will you get up in the morning at 4 o'clock for 1 hour for 25% of your pot and then learn it? So Simon can't wait. And I won't either. I'll be up for that. And I've got
an early bird, but I know I can get up for that. Do the trade, then go back to bed.
Yeah, that's the whole point. I mean, right now, the majority of us are in lockdown. Get up early, watch it for an hour, go back to bed, stay in bed till 9 o'clock. Let's face it, you're doing nothing else right now. So let's look at the other questions. Who else did we say? So Fleur asked, can you roll over a trade with pocket options? No, you can't roll over a trade with pocket options. If you don't know what rollover is, watch the training sessions with Matty, and that'll explain it. But no, you can't with pocket options. Daughter says, I use Vide Forex, and that's one of the brokers that I'm going to recommend in a minute. I'm going to show you. IC markets do not do binary options, so we can't use them. Can we recommend a broker? I'm going to talk about brokers in a second. Sue says, if I upgrade to Elite, will I cancel DeLorean? when you go into your back office, excuse me, you can upgrade on your next package. That will automatically cancel Platinum, but I would separately cancel the subscription for DeLorean just underneath it, and you will still have DeLorean afterwards. So Tammy asked the same question. Do you need to delete your DeLorean subscription now? Yes, you can cancel it now. You'll still have access to it until it expires. And as soon as your next payment is there, then DeLorean will automatically come through. So that's done. Tanya says 4 a.m. is doable. Good, that's good to hear. So Anjum says, is the ESMA regulation applicable if we're not part of Europe? Is this perfectly legal in the UK? Yes, it is 100% legal in the UK. At this moment in time, as we stand, we are still following EU regulations, but it's being written into law right now that pretty much every law that applies in Europe will still apply here in the UK when we finally have Brexit. But yes, it was never actually made illegal. It was only made illegal temporarily to promote it for the brokers. It was purely because some people were risking crazy amounts of money and get themselves into debt. They were gamblers. They were gambling and they were losing money because of it. And I heard someone call it the nanny state when they turned around and said that, you know, we're not allowed to do that. The government's going to look after you and stop you from doing that, whether you want to call it a nanny state or whatever. Having looked at it, the government decided, no, that's not the case. So I'm going to go back just for a second. I'm just going to quickly touch on brokers, just so we've done that bit as well.
Before you do, Reg, can I just talk about the tax implication?
Yeah, I know you like it so much.
Okay, we always used to turn around and say that Forex trading was tax-free. Well, was it? Sometimes it wasn't. And if you were to pay tax, it would be 10% corporation tax.
Capital gains tax.
With binary options, it goes under the umbrella of gambling. I don't know if any of you have heard of spread betting, IG markets. Well, that's gambling. Now, this is the way the government look at it. They turn around and say, okay, the majority of people lose money, so they can't offset their losses against their income tax. So what we won't do, if they make money, which we know very, very few do, we won't charge them tax. So you can speak to any accountant that you know of, and I think Dave's on this call, but they will turn around and say to you, yep, it's tax-free. Binary options is tax-free.
Well, should we let Dave just confirm it? David is the accountant.
Dave.
Yeah, hiya.
Okay, all yours.
Hi,
David
everybody.
is an accountant. Yeah. Tell everyone your background first of all, so everyone understands why you're qualified to tell us that.
Yeah, I've been an accountant for 35 years. So hopefully another tax rule. So as Simon says, he probably got it from me in the first instance. The revenue don't pursue it because most people make a loss, and to make it equitable, they would have to allow losses, the expenses again for people that make a loss. So if they've got another job, they would then claim their losses against the tax they paid on the other job, and that would cost them a hell of a lot more than it will in foregoing the taxes that the people make the profit, if that makes sense.
Yep, it does. Perfect.
Is that right?
Thank you, Dave. Okay.
Good.
So a couple of quick questions again, just we go through it. So Anjum was asked about the ESMA regulations, perfectly legal in the UK. Genevieve, is there hourglass training? Plenty of it, Genevieve. Jackie says, do we have to pay the join-up fee again? No, we don't have to pay the join-up fee.
No.
All that you pay is the subscription for all the packages. Genevieve says, is it only for the UK, not for Europe? No, it's okay for the whole of Europe, so there's no problem. And Kieran says, are we coming away from Forex? Is Forex tax-free or not? Kieran, we're not coming away from Forex. We're trading Forex as well. In fact, trading binary options, we're still trading Forex. So we're not coming away from anything. What we're trying to do is give you additional options. And is Forex tax-free?
Can I put another spin on Kieran's question? Kieran, before the call was starting, I was on the phone to Brandon Boyd. Brandon turned around categorically and said he will no longer be doing Forex trading anymore. Binary options is the way forward.
But
this is
clarify. Yeah, but clarify. Binary options is Forex. It's just a different style of trading Forex.
Well, he's doing the HFX.
Yes.
He's not doing Forex trading.
He's not doing it in the traditional sense of it.
No.
Yeah.
But he said exactly the same as what you and I said. No lot size, no pips, no worrying about training about how to trade Forex and how to do it and everything else. He said it is such an easier system. So he said that.
It's pure simplicity.
For the future.
It's pure simplicity.
Yeah.
Okay, Genevieve says, no tax in Europe. Genevieve, I don't know. When it comes to taxation in Europe, speak to an accountant in your own country, I'm afraid. I only know that in the UK, we just heard from an accountant here in the UK, you need to take tax advice.
Nigeria, tax-free. India, tax-free. Check an accountant.
Yeah, just speak to your own. So, okay. So Lisa, with the two, sign up with the 2 and 3 is your subscription free. That does still apply with the elite package. So Kieran, I'm still getting my head around DeLorean. We're still trading DeLorean. You can still trade DeLorean, yeah, and you can still take the trades. You can take the advice from DeLorean. You can look at something on DeLorean, see a good trade on DeLorean, but then apply it in 3-minute increments. So you have the trade in front of you. You know that you've got a good trade set up, but instead of waiting 5 hours for it, take it 20 times and take your profits in quick hits. Yeah. So someone else says, if you bring people in to waive the monthly fee because the package is more expensive, does it still apply? If you have 2 people in, then you're still fine. Bring two people in, the package is free, providing they're on the same package as you. Okay, right, guys, just slow down a little bit with these because these are scrolling past me, and I've got some that aren't relevant. So, best brokers for binary options, I'm just going to touch on, but I've been trying to get to it for about 5 minutes right now. Right, and will it only be Matty that does live? No, it's not only Matty that does lives. There are a couple of other people that do live sessions at different times. It's just that the guys that we've got that are making crazy money are absolutely and utterly raving about Matty because of the results that they're getting with Matty. So let's just talk about brokers, and let's cover brokers. As I said to you, Simon and I spent absolutely ages going through this. This is what you need to do to get started. First of all, you need to make sure that you're either on a platinum pack with HFX or on the elite pack. Either one will do. Yeah. Register with a binary options brokers, and after days and days of going through it, we found Vive Forex, BinarySense.com, and RaceOptions.com, and I would tend to take them in that order as we looked at it. Vive Forex is the one that Brandon uses and that Massey uses. They have a feature called rollover, and I'll touch on it very quickly. And my explanation, do not take my explanation as being a perfect explanation of this, but this is what I saw myself on a trade with Matty. On one video we saw, he took a trade and he said, I'm taking a look at this pair. I can't remember what the pair was now. But he said, I'm going to put $5,500 on this trade. If this trade wins, I'll make $10,000 in 3 minutes. So he took the trade, and after 2 minutes, 45 seconds, the trade was going against him. Now, bear in mind, he's a trader. He knew what he was doing. So this trade was going against him for this 3-minute period. So he decided he was going to roll the trade over to take it for a second 3-minute period. Now, Vide Forex allows you to do that, and they charge an additional 30% to get into the trade. But if the trade wins, you get that money back. In the second 3 minutes, it won. So he paid £8,000 in total, $8,000 in total, $5,000 for the original trade, plus $3,000 to extend it for the second one. But he got back $13,000 in 6 minutes. That rollover facility is a lifesaver if you just see something that's just going against you and you know it's going to come back. We've all seen spikes happen, so you can just roll over and go a bit further forward. So Vide Forex gives you that option. Binary Sense gives you that option. Race Options doesn't. Joe Gomez likes Race Option for some reason or other, but I don't know what it is. But I do know that they're a good company. They're a legitimate company, but they do that. You'll need to verify your ID with them, so you'll need to send them a copy of photo ID, and you'll need to send them proof of address. You need to fund your account. Funding your account with any of these brokers is relatively straightforward, but it's not necessarily the simplest thing that we've just seen. You can't just put your credit card in and do it. What you have to do is fund it with cryptocurrency. So you go into it, go through the process of signing up, then go to pay, and it then gives you a link where you can now convert some cash, or you can convert something off your credit card and turn it into cryptocurrency to pay them in crypto. Don't know why they do it, but trust me, we spent 3 days looking for somewhere that you couldn't find, that you didn't have to do that, and there just isn't one that we can do. It takes about 10 minutes longer to actually do it because of that, but it's worth doing 10 minutes, because honestly, by the time we ended up going back to the first broker that we'd done it with, we wished we'd done it 3 days earlier, didn't we?
No.
Yeah. Simon is really not patient. When it comes to anything that wastes his time, he really does get his knickers in a twist.
Yeah.
So, and he got his knickers properly in a twist. Okay, so I have a couple more questions that have come up on here. So what have we got? So, nice statements, not questions. Right, who have we got? So, silly question, but if you get 2 sign-ups before deciding to upgrade to Elite, and then, right, Lauren, this is Lauren's question. If you get 2 sign-ups before you upgrade to Elite, and then do your sign-ups need to upgrade to Elite for you to get it free? I don't know, Lauren. I wish I did know the answers to that, and I'll ask the question of Brandon.
I think they need to be on the same package that you are.
Yeah, so I think in the first instance, I don't think you would get Elite until they go on to Elite as well. Yeah. Kevin, do they convert your profits you take out into crypto also? Again, not sure. One thing I will tell you when it comes to have you had that email from Vide Forex about the bonus?
No.
Right. When you register with Vide Forex, they tell you that there is a sign-up bonus. So if you sign up with anything from $250 to $1,000, they will add 20% to your account. If you sign up with $1,000 to $3,000, they'll add 50% to your account. And if you add $5,000 to $10,000 to your account, they'll add 100% to your account, so you'll double your account. Now,
no, 3,000 for the gold package.
3,000 is it?
I just put in.
Yeah, you put 10 in, so put max in. So that doesn't get applied instantly. So you won't, when you put it in, you won't see, if you go for the gold package and you put 3,000 in, you won't see 6,000 straight away. We're waiting for an email confirmation as to how quickly you get that. There are rules over withdrawing your funds as well. If you take the bonus, if you get the bonus and they're giving you that much money, you can't just then take the bonus, then take that money out and run. You have to be on the package. You actually have to treble your money before you can withdraw it. Trebling your money with Matty's process, well, it took him 6 weeks to quadruple his money before he truly understood what he was doing. So trebling your money should not be a huge thing, and actually a very good goal to go for, because by the time you've trebled your money in it, the smart thing to do then is to take out your initial investment. You're now at a point where you've got double what you started with, but it's not actually coming from you personally out of your own money. So that seems to me to be a smart idea. So that one's really good. Fleur's saying that she exchanged $500 and your account was, oh, right. Don't understand that. Okay, so multiple different things there, though, but some simple questions. Someone said, Tanya said she signed up with 24 options years ago, but found their portfolio managers weren't very helpful. I don't know anything about 24 options or bank to binary, Tanya. When it comes to brokers, there are thousands of brokers out there. What I do know is that I've always found it best to stick with recommendation from people that are using brokers. So when I know someone who's actually got a broker and is using them and has no problem with them, seems a reasonably smart idea to follow that advice. As far as IM are concerned, there are rules to stop IM actually recommending specific brokers. They're not allowed to do that. So the company will not put any specific guidelines out because it'll get them in trouble with the Fed in the States. However, you can take advice from different people in the team that you know, and I take Brandon's advice on that one all day long. Brandon's trusting them with very, very large amounts of money. So if you trust them with very large amounts of money of his own money, then I think that's a reasonable one to do with that. So, okay. And Tanya says, yes, you know, someone else has recommended this company in the past, so great. So that's it, guys. It was a lot to go through, but honestly, I think this gives us even more reason to be really, really excited about it. I think tying in both systems with the Forex traders that we have, with the likes of Tyrone and Patrick, then to know the information that we have coming about South African Rand, about Turkish Lira, we know those things are going to dive, and then to apply those trades, not just in NT4, but to apply them in a binary trade as well, just gives you an opportunity to make vast amounts of money. And we have to be careful. We keep saying we don't want to overhype how much money people make with this, but the potential is tremendous. So go with that, stick with that information right now. If you've got any questions, I'm sure that Telegram is going to light up afterwards, but if you have any questions, ask myself, ask Simon, we'll happily answer whatever questions we can. There will still be some things that we don't have answers to. I don't get access to this package until the end of next week because that's when my package upgrades. Simon's already goes, should we send everybody to you?
Yeah, let's not. But I tell you one thing, I'm going to be really looking forward to Tuesday morning at 4 o'clock and Friday morning at 4 o'clock, and I will let you know how I get on.
Why are you getting up at 2 o'clock on Tuesday morning when the trades are on Thursday and Friday?
No, 4 o'clock. 4.
Yeah, but you said Tuesday, and the trades are Thursday morning and Friday.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, guys, do you want some good news or some really good news? I'm going to give you some really good news. Now, you've heard about Matthew, how successful he is, about his trades and how much Brandon's making. Well, he does these trades on 3 times a week. Sunday, for us, it's Sunday, which is Monday morning, which is predominantly a training, then Thursday and Friday. Okay. What about And I want everybody's camera on, because you need to put your camera on for what I'm going to tell you. So I won't be going any further until everyone's camera is on. Everyone's camera, let's go through. Craig, I don't know what you're doing. Everyone's camera's got to be on, because I just want to see some excitement with this. This is going to be mental. Okay, with this, with Matty, who would be interested if Matty was flown over to the UK for a week to do an actual trading session in a hotel where you guys could come up and attend it? He could train you. He could get you set up with brokers, trading, and everything else. And you're in front of him, getting his advice, understanding exactly how to do it. Who would be, wave your hands if you'd be excited, if you would be keen on participating. Okay, so for the three of you, okay, there is going to be a qualification. The qualification is you would need to be a P150. So that means you've got to get 3 people. This is what we don't want to do. We don't want to get everybody just saying, oh, I'm just going to trade, I'm just going to trade, I'm just going to trade. No. Network. You need to network. So if you haven't got 3 people, you can't attend. Now, I'm looking at getting him flown over in about 4, 5, 6 months' time. So you've got that window to get your people. So what you could do, you could do 1 or 2 things. You could turn around and say, well, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get on the HFRX and I'm going to see how successful it is. And then I'm going to recommend it to all my friends, family, and everything else. And I'm going to get me 3 people, and I want to attend that event. It will be at the Mercure Hotel. That's Junction 23 on the M6, in between Liverpool and Manchester. Bang in the middle. Phenomenal venue. So Matty will be staying there for a week. So you guys will be bringing your laptops to that event. We will be going through all the bits and pieces and everything else. I want to say something on a personal basis. Thank everybody that's on this Zoom for congratulating me on going chairman. And I really appreciate your kindness and everything else. And guys,
can I just, before we do, 2 things that I want to say. First of all, Sam and I have been talking all day. I wasn't aware I knew when we was having the conversation with Brandon what he was talking about, because we've been talking about it all day. You need to understand what that week will be about. We've still got to put final details on it, but when you come and sit in that room with Matty, you will be trading. And whatever the cost is, for the cost of the hotel, for the cost of getting across there or whatever, you will make that and more before you go home. That session, you will come out of that session in cold hard profit before you leave. That's going to be an amazing goal to go for. So we'll have that, and we'll have more details on that, but that's going to be an awesome session on. And if you haven't got your 3 yet, get your 3 and try and get your 3 to get their 3 so they can get to it, because honestly, it will be worth absolute gold for it.
Imagine if you're sat in the room being a P150 and you've either got 1, 2, or 3 P150s in your team with you, enjoying the benefits of the event, of the trades and everything else. Guys, that is going to be, you are going to rank advance real fast. That will help you to get to P600. Can you
if you've got 3 P150s with you, if you've got 3 P150s with you, you will be P600 yourself.
Yeah, correct.
In fact, it gets a little better, doesn't it? Because if they've come in on the elite pack, you don't need as many people to get through to P150 to P600. You only need 10 people, not 12 people, to get to P600. You only need 23 people to get to P1000. And that means the company will be paying you $1,000 a month, every month, that gives you money to trade with.
Yeah.
And now you can multiply it and turn it into something absolutely and utterly insane.
If I was you guys, I would get your phone out, put in your phone thecalculatorsite.com, the compound calculator. You just put some numbers in there. I put in, with my trade account with this Vibe Forex, I put in 10,000. So I'm looking to get another 10,000. So I'm going to start with 20,000. That's a little bit more than 500 that Matty started with. Now, obviously, coming on Thursday and Friday, you know me, I'm an aggressive trader. I don't tinker around, and I've never done a lot size of 0.25 in my life. So it's going to be interesting when I start doing this binary options on Thursday to how much I'm going to put in. If I know I've got like 10 or 20 grand in the account, it's going to be
You can't go around shouting that. You're not allowed to go around shouting that.
That's funny, because I was speaking to Brandon about this tonight. I said, Brandon, if you got a WhatsApp group and you're making money with the system, can you post it in WhatsApp group, or will compliance come down on your heart? He said, well, yeah, I suppose if it's in, as long as you don't do it on Facebook and Instagram. I said, no. I understand that.
That's what we said to everybody, though. You can't put it on post. You can't put it on social media.
No, but WhatsApp is really social media.
Yeah. Ish, yeah.
So he said, well, I can't really answer the question. So I'm not saying you can, but I'm not saying you can't. But for you guys, I'm
all saying we know damn well what he's going to do. So, yeah. And the only other thing that I would like to say is that Simon did have a very, very special accolade, as he said before, and that is that he's now officially the oldest chairman in the company.
Yeah.
Yeah. And no matter what I do, I'll never be able to take that off him.
No.
So,
I might not have done it the fastest than all these 18 and 17-year-olds.
Yeah.
But I'm the oldest. So.
But you are the oldest. So congratulations on that one, mate. Guys, thank you for your time. Much appreciated. We will have our presentation, our normal formal presentation tomorrow night with Brandon. Get as many people as you can on that call. Brandon will be talking about how to make money with the business. Brandon will be showing people how to go through the back office. Get as many people on. Let's get you to P150 so that you can be sat in that room with us in 5 or 6 weeks. Well, fingers crossed 5 or 6. We don't know as far as that's concerned. But as soon as we can possibly get Matty across here, let's have you in the room as well.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So see you all tomorrow night. Bye, everyone.
Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.